When LeBron leaves a team, they fall apart. LeBron left the Cavs. They went from 60 wins to the first pick of the draft. LeBron left the Heat. They went from 4 straight finals to out of the playoffs. Jordan left the Bulls. They went from 57 wins to 55 wins.
In the summer of 1993, Michael Jordan retired from the NBA to go play baseball and fulfill not only his childhood dream, but to honor his father's dream as well. Yet in Jordan's absence, the Chicago Bulls managed to have a 55-27 record as they finished with the 3rd best record in the Eastern Conference and made it all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Along with that, Scottie Pippen finished 3rd in the MVP voting. Horace Grant was an All-Defender, B.J. Armstrong earned his first All-Star selection, and Steve Kerr was a 6th Man of the Year candidate. All things considered, the Bulls had an incredible season that even exceeded the preseason expectations that many people had for them. Now here's the thing, even today, Michael Jordan's biggest critics, and especially LeBron fans, love to bring up how successful the Bulls were without Michael Jordan. Their point is, Jordan can't be as valuable and as impactful as many people like to claim when the Bulls went 57-25 in 1993 with him on the team, and then proceeded to go 55-27 in 1994 with him off the team. Now, although that may sound like a decent point at surface level, it's severely lacking the necessary context. The truth is, Michael Jordan never played with a Bulls team that was as deep as the 1993 to 1994 Chicago Bulls. Jordan leaving to play baseball wasn't the only major roster change for Chicago in the 1993 offseason. They had just added the underappreciated Tony Kukoc to the roster, who was a skilled 6'10" small forward who could handle the rock, finish at the rim, and shoot from the perimeter. They also had Steve Kerr, who was simply one of the most efficient three-point shooters and free throw shooters in the history of the league. He not only spaced the floor, but he provided even more depth to an already stacked team, as he finished 6th overall on the 6th Man of the Year standings. During the 94 season, they also upgraded their center position, as they traded away Stacey King for the 7'2" Australian Luke Longley. Longley wasn't an all-star caliber player by any means, but he was in the prime of his career and was able to have a greater impact than a 36-year-old Bill Cartwright could. So here's what you need to consider to really drive the point home. Outside of Dennis Rodman and obviously Michael Jordan, the 1994 Chicago Bulls had all of their key pieces from their first three-peat stint and had nearly all of their key pieces from their second three-peat stint. From the first three-peat stint, they had Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson, and Bill Cartwright. And from their second three-peat, they had Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, and Luke Longley. Also consider how their top 9 scorers on the 1994 team were all between the ages of 25 and 30. To put it simply, MJ never had this much depth at his disposal. By the time Jordan finally rejoined the team towards the end of the 1994 to 1995 regular season, they weren't nearly as good for a variety of reasons. John Paxson had retired at the end of the 1994 season, and their interior defensive anchor, Horace Grant, had signed with the Orlando Magic in free agency, leaving the Bulls' power forward spot in a severely weakened state. By the time MJ showed up, Chicago was only 3 games over 500. So again, 93 was a great team that went on to win the championship. 94 was an even deeper team just without Michael Jordan. And 95 was a team that had some major holes in the roster and some chemistry issues to sort through. Now here's the crazy part that a lot of people don't realize. Even though Jordan was playing baseball, he was still on the Chicago Bulls payroll for the 1993 to 1994 season. Not only that, but he was their highest paid player on the team. So theoretically, even if MJ stayed with the Bulls and played during the 1994 season, it wouldn't have affected their salary cap any differently, meaning they could have had this exact same absurdly deep roster with MJ leading the way. Again, Just think about the overall depth. MJ performing at his very best, Scottie Pippen in his prime, a lockdown perimeter defense, an NBA All-Defender down low, 2 Sixth Man of the Year candidates, 2 out of the top 4 most efficient three-point shooters in the entire league, and arguably the greatest head coach of all time. If MJ never left to play baseball, then he certainly would have been a part of the best overall Bulls team that he's ever played for. And even MJ was arguably never better than at the point that he left, as he was coming off of an NBA Finals where he efficiently averaged 41, 8, and 6 against an NBA All-Defender. And this is where the missed opportunity comes in. If Jordan had played for this Bulls squad that went 55 and 27 without him, then I honestly think they're not only winning their 4th straight title, but they're probably remembered today as the greatest team in NBA history, even better than the 95-96 Bulls. With this stacked unit, Chicago might have been looking at a 73-win season. Assuming health, a minimum of 70 wins would probably be a safe assumption. Now that might sound crazy to some, but they won 67 games in 1992 with a team that wasn't nearly as deep, and they won 72 games in 96 and 69 games in 97, again with teams that were not quite as stacked from the top to the bottom. So yeah, some may use the 93-94 Bulls success as a criticism against Michael Jordan, but in reality, he passed up an opportunity to be a part of the best team he's ever played for, and somehow still managed to win 6 championships in the span of 8 seasons. That's GOAT stuff, if you ask me. So now it's your turn. How well did the 1994 Bulls do if Michael Jordan stayed on the team? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.